Okay, guys, so here we go. I'm going to do lab 2137. So we're going to do basic Python programming. In this lab, we will launch VirtualBox, enter the I2IoT server VM that we created in 2136. Part 2, we're going to go over the Python basics. And then in part 3, we're going to go over idle for Python. Okay, so some background. Python programming language allows for simpler statements. So the statements and code that we write is much simpler in Python than it would be in like Visual Basic or C++. So Python is very easy to use, powerful, and versatile. It has become the language of choice for many IoT developers. One of the main reasons for the popularity of Python is the developer community. So Python developers have created and made available many specific modules that can be imported into any program to immediately lend added functionality. Okay, so in this lab, we will learn and practice some basic Python programming. More specifically, we will use Python version 3 in the lab. So a modern personal computer with internet access, we have that. VirtualBox with the i2 IoT server installed, we have that. So in part 1, you launch virtualization software VirtualBox and log into the i2 IoT server VM. So we're going to do that here. We are going to launch VirtualBox. Okay. Oh, that's not VirtualBox. That is the installation. So we need to find it over here. I think it's right here. Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. So we're going to bring that over here. We are going to start our i2 IoT GUI. Okay, so here is our server that we have started. So we clicked on that. The default username is IoT with no password. Click the blue bar, IoT user in the middle of the screen to log into the VM. So we're going to do that, and then we'll have to go to terminal. Okay, so let's close these, and we will allow this to boot up. Right, and that should be booting up momentarily. There we go. IoT user, so we click in here, click IoT user, and that will log us in to the virtual machine. Once we are in, we're going to go to applications, and then we're going to go to terminal. So we have applications up here, so we're going to click that, and we're going to go to, we're going to go to terminal. Where did it go, George? There we go, terminal. All right. Now we're going to use the pwd command to display the current directory. So pwd, there we go. We have our current directory. All right, now use the ls command to show the list of contents in the current directory. Use the ls command with the -l option to show detailed information about the contents, which we did this before. So we're going to do ls space -l, enter. Okay, so that gives us our specifics. And now we're going to use the cd documents command to change the directory to the home IoT user documents directory verify by using the command pwd. Okay. So we are going to use the cd documents command. So we type cd, whoops, space documents. Okay, so now that puts us into documents. Then we're going to verify by using the pwd command. So now you'll notice over here we are in documents. We're not only as localhost like we were here. So up here we were only in the localhost. Down here we are in the documents folder. Okay, so that's what that's saying. To check the version of Python installed on the VM, issue the Python 3 space dash dash version command. So we will issue Python 3 space dash dash version 3.6.5. Okay, that's good. I'm going to hit right control to get my keyboard or my mouse pointer back on my desktop. So right control, now I'm back. Okay, we just checked that. 3.6.5 here, 3.6.5 here. So we are good there. Now we're going to move to part 2, which is Python basics. Okay, so in part 2, you will learn and practice some basic Python programming. Python programming in the interactive interpreter. So as an interpreted language, Python commands can be issued in an interactive interpreter. So use the Python 3 command to start Python interpreter. So we're going to type Python 3. Okay. To start Python interpreter, so we did that. And that's exactly what it shows here. So we're going to perform calculations. Okay, let's do 1 plus 2. Whoa, my numlock must not be working very well. We'll use this. 1 plus 2. And we'll hit enter. And notice here, it gives us the answer of 3. Okay, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. Now we're going to do 2 plus 4. That tells us that the answer is 6. And then we will do 6 divided by 2. And that gives us the answer of 3. Okay, so right in here we can actually perform mathematical calculations. All right, so print a text string. Okay, so how are you? Okay, so let's see. In quotes, how are you, question mark, add our quotation, hit enter, and now it tells us, how are you? That printed it, basically printed that text string right on the computer. So now use the type command to determine the basic data type. Int, float, string, boolean. Okay, so we're going to type 65. Ooh. Hit enter. That's the class of int. Now let's see what type 45.6 will be the float. Okay, so let's see. Type 45.6. That is float. Okay, so now we're going to do type. Oops. Then we're going to do high, exclamation point. Oh, I missed the quotation. All right. High, exclamation point. There we go. Hit enter. That's the class string. Okay, so that's our string class. Now we're going to type. We're going to do true. That is the boolean. Okay, 1 is less than 2. Is that true or false? That is true. And it states it right in here. Okay, so now let's see how much it knows is 1 less than 1. False. No, it is not. It is equal to. So let's see this. 1 equal to 1. True. Okay, is 1 greater than or equal to 1? True. It is equal to. So that would be a true statement. Okay, so now we have to create a variable. So now we're down in E. Down in E. I'm going to show you where we are. We're right here. We're going to create a variable. Okay, so our variable is x equals 3. So we type x is equal to 3. Okay, so now it's going to take that and remember it. Now we're going to say x times 5. X times 5. So that'll essentially be 3 times 5, right? And that tells us the answer is 15. Okay, so as long as we provide the criteria for what x equals, okay, it will then allow us to use that variable. So good, let's see, quotes, and we will do good exclamation point quotes times x. Good, good, good. So what we did there, we typed good, and we said we wanted that to display x amount of times. Okay, so good times x allowed me to put, had Python automatically put good 3 times. Okay, so good times x, which equals 3. So if x equals 3, it's going to type that 3 times. Okay, so it displays it 3 times. All right, now for F, we're going to combine multiple strings together and print as one string. Okay, so we're going to say string 1, str1 equals Cisco. That is an error. Oh, I forgot my quotes. Okay. str1 equals Cisco. Okay, now it took it. str2 equals networking. We got to remember our quotes. Okay. str3 equals str3 equals academy. Space equals quote space quote. So space essentially will equal 1 space character, or 1 character space. So then we are going to do print parentheses string 1 plus space plus string 2 plus space plus string 3. Okay, so now we got that out. What does it say? Boom, Cisco, space networking, space academy. So right there was a very, very easy way to combine multiple strings together and then print it as one string. So that is the command. Basically, it's just print, and then we put in parentheses what we want it to print. So we had already programmed it that string 1 was Cisco, then the space equals a space, string 2 equals networking, okay, then plus a space, and then string 3, which equals academy. So we told it what string 1, string 2, string 3, and space were, then we just put it together. Okay, so if we wanted to put it as networking Cisco Academy, we would do print string 2 plus space plus string 1 plus space plus string 3 close parentheses networking Cisco Academy. Okay, so that's how we're going to combine multiple strings together. Okay, now convert data type from a numeric number to a string. Okay, let's try that. So x equals 5. Okay, so we're programming it now what x equals. Then string is x. Okay, and then it tells us when we write the string, okay, and we want to show the x variable, it tells us it's 5. Okay, so string is the variable x, so it wants to type to display that. It's going to display the number of 5. So y equals 4.2. Okay, now let's see string y. It's going to display 4.2. Okay, so essentially, as soon as you type your string and then you put your parentheses and you put your variable in there, it's essentially going to display the variable that is set for that specific number. Okay, so note that integers are not rounded up when converting from float. The decimal is ignored. Okay, so let's see. Integer, int, then we are going to do 8.21. Oops. 8.21. Okay. It only displays it as 8. So when we do an integer, it does not round it. It only takes whatever is before the decimal. Okay, so if we do integer 8.99, okay, it's still going to be 8. So it's not rounding it. It won't round it. It's only going to add whatever the data value is before the decimal. Okay, so let's do this. Integer, oops, 8.21 plus integer 8.99. 16. So is 8.21 and 8.99 equal 16? Well, if we did it normally, that would equal 17, right? 17.20. 17.20, not 16. Okay? However, the way that this is set up, integer values are not going to take the decimal point into consideration. Okay, so an integer will just basically cut off whatever the decimal value is, and it will only add the two numeric values. Okay, so let's convert an integer to a float. Okay, x equals 5. Okay, so now let's see what x is. X is 5. Okay, so now float. Now it's 5.0. Okay, so now type x. Okay, so now it moved it to a class integer class. Okay, so now x equals float x. Okay, so now type x. So I want to see what the value for x is, and it says class float. Okay, so now we'll type x 5.0. Okay, so that's converting an integer to a float. So whereas an integer would only display the 5, it would not display a decimal point. A float allows us to actually display the decimal point to get a more accurate value. Okay, so you have to have a float if you want a numerical value that has a decimal point. An integer is only going to have a number. There's no decimal after it. Okay? All right, so let's move on here. Obtain user input. Okay, now we're getting into the cool stuff. So, name equals input. Oops, forgot my capital. So what is your name? Okay. What did I do wrong? Oh, I did a question. I forgot the quotation marks. Oh, name equals input quotes. What is your name? Okay. What is your name? We'll type John as it says in the directions. Okay, so now it's programmed that my name is John. Okay, so now we're going to print always got to remember my quotes. Hi plus name plus hi plus name plus comma. It is nice to meet you. Okay. I put pring instead of print. Oh my goodness. Now I'll type the whole thing over again. Okay.
Hello?
Print.
Yes.
Quotes.
Said
Hi
he wants me to make a boat decal for him.
plus
Or no, he wants
name
a boat decal. He is playing Fortnite.
plus
Yeah, I can send
it is
Yeah, I can
nice
send them
to
up there.
meet you.
Let me ask.
Quote there. Okay.
Alright,
Hi John. It is nice to meet you. Okay, so it actually added my name. Okay, so once you program it as that is your name, John, it will put that in there. Okay, moving on. We're going to use quit to exit interactive interpreter. So quit. I put quite. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing today. I got fat fingers, it looks like. Okay, so now we quit. All right, so now we're going to get into idle for Python. Okay, idle for Python. IDLE stands for Integrated Development and Learning Environment, so it is supported and included in the Python package. A few key features of IDLE for Python include these: Python shell window interactive interpreter, which is what we were using, with colorizing of code input, output, and error messages. A multi-window text editor with multiple undo, Python colorizing, smart indent, call tips, auto completion, and other features. the ability to search within any window, replace within editor windows, and search through multiple files. Okay, a debugger with persistent breakpoints, stepping and viewing of global and local namespaces, configuration browsers, and other dialogues. So in part 3, we will launch idle and create a simple script. So use the idle 3 command to launch idle. So we'll type idle 3. Okay, and that will launch idle. Okay, so now we have it, Python 3.6.5 shell. Okay, so now we're in. So click File, New File. Oh, we need to be Python shell, File, New File. Okay, to open a new untitled Python script. Okay, so we got that. Now type the code in the script, print, type the code in the script, print, hello world. Okay.
Well,
So print,
I will, can we take my bike up and I can go to the.
hello,
I'm done, I'm not staying,
space,
but you're gonna help me.
world, exclamation point, end quote, and parentheses. Okay. Note the codes are colored and open and close parentheses are matched. So if we look at this, print turns to purple. Oh, geez, sorry guys. Okay, print. So print is purple, and then the hello world, which is going to be displayed, is going to be in green. Okay. Let me see here. We got to hit enter. Okay, now we're good. Now I need my mouse back here. Okay, so print hello world. So now we have to click File, Save, so we can save the current script. So we're going to save that, and we're going to save it as 1.py. So we got 1.py in the current directory. 1.py. And we'll click the Save button. Okay, now click Run, Run Module. So we got Run. We're going to run a module. There we go. So as we ran that module, the shell window will display the result. So what was the result that we typed in? We typed in print and then hello world, and that's what we wanted it to display. So as soon as we ran that, it actually just printed the hello world. Okay? So that is lab 2.1.3.7. So I hope you guys followed along. I hope everything went well. And if you have an opportunity to actually do this on your own machine, I really highly recommend it. But if not, if you don't have the option or opportunity to do so, hopefully you found this video helpful. All right. I am out. See you guys later.